Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I live in this city called National City. It's a little suburb place here in San Diego, California. Today, we get the opportunity to talk to the Chamber of Commerce. So let's get this show rolling. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Look, a business can give you everything you want in life. Prestige, wealth, freedom. It can also take everything away from you. This show is for those who are willing to take that risk. These are the real-life stories of entrepreneurs. But before we start, I have one small favor to ask. Please leave a comment. It can be advice, critiques, tips, feedback, or share this with someone because your engagement is the most valuable and most powerful form of social currency. So thank you, and welcome to another episode of Business Buzz!
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have an exceptional guest who's at the forefront of promoting business growth in National City. As a marketing coordinator at the Chamber of Commerce, he's been instrumental in driving membership growth and fostering a healthy business climate in the city of National City, just 10 minutes from downtown San Diego. And it's brimming with the exciting opportunities, including significant growth in housing, retailing, community infrastructure. And our guest's passion for serving the voice of National City is truly an honor. He's here to share some value and insight on strategies on how the Chamber of Commerce can help. So let's welcome to the show, Mr. David Grepe.
Awesome.
David,
thank you so much.
Welcome aboard. All right, let's start off with normally I interview entrepreneurs, people who are in the business space, doing the thing out there. You're very instrumental in helping businesses kind of get started. Tell me a little bit about what the Chamber of Commerce is and why should businesses know about it?
Okay. Well, as with every Chamber of Commerce nationwide, every community has their own Chamber of Commerce. And I think they're super valuable because basically what they do is provide a link between businesses and the market that they're trying to reach. And here at the Chamber of National City, we have 4 words kind of what that describe basically what we do and how we do it. Okay. So the first word is connect. What we do is we connect our members to potential customers, to other chamber members, to elected officials, to nonprofit organizations, anyone they need to connect to. We want to be their facilitator for that. So the first word is connect. The second word is network. Networking is so valuable nowadays in the business world because independently of the fact that you'll do some social media advertising, some newspaper, magazine advertising, talking to people face to face is so valuable because you really create trust. The National City Chamber of Commerce has over 40 networking opportunities for our members every year. So networking is so important. And I recently heard a phrase that puts it together, and it says that your network is your net worth, right? So in business, the more people you know, the more you are worth. So we have connect, we have network, we have learning because we provide workshops and we connect our members to other organizations that provide free workshops to be able to grow and manage your business, right? Because not everybody was born a pro, a CEO, or a director, right? So we need to grow, and these learning opportunities help our members and the local businesses to really grow. And if you follow those 3 things, you connect, you network, and you learn, you will succeed, which is the 4th word. Success is what we want to do for all our members. So that's kind of in a nutshell what a Chamber of Commerce does.
Tell me about the connect part. I feel like in a world today where social media is so prevalent, the connection almost seems like we're already there, and yet it's not always as in depth as we'd like it to be. What did you guys mean by connect?
Well, it's not the same to see messaging on social media from somebody who you may not know. You don't know how long they've been in business, or any information that they provide. You don't know how trustworthy it is, to be honest. But when you start doing networking, you start talking to people, you ask them about their business, you learn about their business, and you figure out what it is you can do for them, they start seeing, hey, this is somebody that I can work with. This is somebody that I can connect with. So as we're constantly doing that for all our members year round, we assist all our members in making those connections. For example, we may have a realtor who's looking to connect with more lenders or looking to connect with more people who offer credit repair, right? So they approach us and we help them make those connections. We do those introductions and we start building trust, because in the end, doing business, you do business with people you trust, right? And the more you know those people, the faster you get to that trust point. And face-to-face interactions get you there much, much faster. That's where the connect part is so important.
All right, once we connect with people, you mentioned you got over 40 different networking events where people can make some of these network connections. And I love your line, right? Your network is your net worth.
Show me the money!
Hey, right. That's really what it comes down to. Why is networking and face-to-face networking so important in business?
Well, if I can put an example, I have my own personal business that I run, and in order to be able to grow, I was told, you need to start doing some networking. And over the past 5 years, I realized not only that I knew nothing about networking, but you need to find the place where you need to network. And once you find that niche, that special place where you're going to be meeting people regularly, it becomes the fastest way for you to get business, because these are people who know you, people who may even use your services, but they will promote you, they will recommend you. And this is the part of networking that is so valuable. If I was able to talk to you and gain your trust as to what I do, how I do it, why I do it, not only will you consider using my services, but you're going to tell your friends, your family, everybody you know about me. And as we all know, everybody knows on average 200 people in your circle of friends and family. So that is very valuable. That is why networking is so valuable.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's the relationships that make a difference. We have a lot of people that, especially in social, that we call friends, but they're not really friends because you don't see them on a regular basis. You don't know about them. You might stalk them a little bit, but you don't really know who they are. Once you actually do connect with people, they become friends. And I've talked to over 1,000 entrepreneurs on this show. One of the things they all agree with, especially the successful ones, are once they have established relationships, these are lifelong relationships that are beyond the business part. The business is almost the secondary nature of what happens in these relationships, but maintaining those, that's the reason why they connect with you. That's the reason why they refer you business and why they keep coming back to you, because they have that personal connection. That face-to-face makes all the difference in the world. You went into learning, and here's the thing: is I feel like we all think we know it all, but we just don't.
You can't handle the truth.
That is true.
We just don't know enough. And in business, there's so many things that we don't know that could hurt us. You mentioned learning as number 3. Tell me a little bit about learning when it comes to the Chamber of Commerce.
Sure. Well, if I can put this example, and I think when you start networking and you don't know about networking, you start doing it. Your first impulse when you go to any meeting, any mixer, any networking event is to bring out your business cards and start giving them to everybody that's in front of you, right? And that is kind of a mistake, because people are not going to use that business card. They're probably going to end up in the waste paper basket because they don't know who you are. It's just a little card, right? When you start learning about networking, you realize that when you go to any event, you go and you talk to people. And only when somebody says, "Hey, I like what you're saying. Can I have your business card?" That is the key moment where that business card is going to bring you business. Otherwise, it's going to end up in the trash can. So it's important to learn that, right? Another important thing that I have learned through the BNI networking groups, I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Yes.
They have a motto that says, "Givers gain," right? And the key to that is that when you start networking and making these relationships, you also have to give back. It's not only what they're going to give you. You have to also learn about other people's businesses and find out how can you help them? How can you get them more contacts and more business? Once you learn to do that, people say, "Hey, this guy's for real. He really cares about what he's doing. I want to do business with him."
He ain't lying.
You're absolutely right. That's the way it works, right? That's the relationship aspect of it, which kind of leads to the last section that you mentioned, which is the success part. A lot of businesses hit this like plateau when it comes to their businesses. Either they're not able to get attention, maybe they're not able to collect customer information, maybe they're not able to make a sale, maybe for whatever reason they make a sale, but they don't establish that lifetime value of the client and really benefit this long term. How do you define the success of a business so that, you know, when we're talking in terms of the whole networking event, how do you define that success?
I think the success can be measured by how people are finding you after many months or years of doing networking and promotion and everything. You suddenly start seeing that people are connecting with you from all over the place, through your website, through social media, through your referrals, through your networking events and businesses that you connect with, and they just start referring people to you automatically. That means that you have reached a point where people like you, they trust you, and they want to do business with you. For me, that is the best measure of success, and that will what you do with that success will define the overall goals of your business, right? So now that you have a steady stream of referrals of people contacting you, now it's your opportunity to wow them, to give them the best service, the best price, the best value, and that will lead them to, you know, the goals, the economic goals that they have for their business.
National City has been growing tremendously. Maybe you're familiar. My wife's grandmother is Rosalie Zarate, and she was one of the city council women there in National City for many years. The Zarates have been in National City for quite a long time. They always talk about all the changes that are happening within the city, whether it's infrastructure. You see the roads and the streets being redone. Right there down 8th Avenue, they have a lot of booming businesses. You got Southwestern College down there. So many different things as far as growth is concerned within the city itself. How can businesses best position themselves to capitalize on some of these emerging opportunities?
One of the most important things they need to do is to make sure that they know what's happening in the city, right? Because a lot of people just, you know, get up every day, go to their business, to their customers, go back home, and they don't connect with the rest of the community. You need to be out there. You need to know what's happening in the community. So one of the ways to do that is obviously through social media. Another way is to connect with the National City Chamber of Commerce, connect with the city. There's an economic development department in the city of National City. All of these places, you need to be active. You need to learn what's happening in your community so that you can take advantage of that. And then you can start doing outreach through social media. You can start putting together events or attending the events that are going to be happening in these places that are growing. So I think that part of connecting with your community and knowing what's happening is vital so that you can take advantage of the growth and not be, you know, not just see it happening, in the distance.
Be a participant, not just an observer, right? Get out there and shake those hands and kiss those babies and say hello to what's going on in the community. And exactly. You always have a lot of different events, and we kind of mentioned some of them. Some of them are the fun ones. You had 4th of July events out there in the community. You have different organizations like the Little Leagues and different things like that. What are some of the other key tools or resources that you can provide to help businesses prosper when they're trying to do business in National City that maybe they've made a difference in their own business growth?
Well, I think one of the hidden gems, if I can put it that way, for National City businesses, is that we just in front of the chamber there is the Small Business Development Center inside the campus of the Southwestern College. This organization, the Small Business Development Center, offers free counseling and advice for any business. It's all paid for through our taxes. It's free, and they'll give you information about marketing, about creating a business plan, about social media. There's a department that specializes on women in business. There's a department called the Women Business Center. They can help you create plans to be able to sell to the government. They have a specific program to prepare businesses to be able to sell to the government. So, and all this is free resources that people need to use. It's there for them. Very valuable. And I strongly encourage people to use them. That is one of the key things that National City has right here in the city.
What do you think's holding people back? Why do you think not as many people are taking advantage of those resources, especially since they're free?
I think it's just people don't know about them. They don't look for them. They don't, I think we need nowadays the best way to find resources, as you know, is you go online and you ask those questions. And if you ask them correctly, you'll find those resources. Or again, come to the Chamber of Commerce, approach us. We can guide you and find the way to connect you with those resources, whether it's access to capital, whether it's marketing, whether any kind of resource you need. Let us know. We're there to help.
The wisdom is there.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yoda, you're exactly right. All right, so let me ask you about public policy, because obviously these things affect what happens for the businesses inside a national city. I know for a while we had that additional 1 cent tax that was going towards a lot of the infrastructure. It did a lot of good, but that 1 cent tax could also affect the way a business operates within national city. So can you share an example of a policy discussion maybe that made some sort of significant impact that is helping local businesses, and how would you address people kind of being aware of public policy coming into play?
Very well. I think one of the most recent examples of how the city of National City is looking to support the community and support local businesses is they have recently passed some new rules related to the lowrider community, for example, which are very prominent and very much part of the heart of National City, right? And now they're beginning to create events to support the lowrider community and to be able to start having events that will attract business, community all together in one event. So these are the kind of things that the city is doing to be able to support the community, to support the local businesses. And again, it's important for the businesses to react when these kind of events are created and are offered. Connect with the organizers and make sure that you have an opportunity to put out a table, put out a booth, and connect with the community through these amazing events.
Yeah, that's so true. Because I remember when I was a young lad in high school, when I had my car, it was definitely an opportunity for us to go cruising down Highland. And then all of a sudden, ordinances came and they stopped that. It finally came back, and it's funny because the same people who were cruising at my age are still out there going out there and cruising. They're just older now. They've gotten a little more mature. They have their own kids. Their own kids are going on. It's a completely different environment today than it was back then. And I agree with you. I'm totally seeing the benefits of not just for the people who are coming out, but for the businesses themselves. They're getting much more traffic to come through and a lot more opportunities. What have you guys seen as an organization that that emphasizes more and more of this benefiting the public, the business community?
Well, it's actually the reason why the National City of Chamber of Commerce exists, right? To be able to learn about these opportunities and to be a promoter of these opportunities. Every week we send out email blasts to our members and our community partners, alerting them about any new events that are happening in the community, any events that the chamber ourselves are putting together, and giving everybody an opportunity to participate in these events, because these are the ways that people get to know you. These are the ways that people get to interact with you in person. They get to know you, they get to see what you do, they need to know where you are. And again, if you don't take advantage of those things, you will suffer as a business, right? But here we are as a chamber to promote and let everybody know what events are happening. We even in our chamber website, we have a calendar, so any of our members can post any of their events right there to get them promoted. So there's a lot of ways to really get your word out there.
It totally is. Totally is. Now, we in National City are uniquely positioned geographically to a lot of what San Diego has to offer. We got Chula Vista and East Lake so close, a few minute drive away. You got downtown San Diego, right there to the other side. Everything is so close. How does one kind of leverage this proximity to attract different customers across the different cities that are there? I mean, essentially, right? Kind of like the Back to the Future line.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
How do we take advantage of that?
Yeah, well, as you say, we are in the heart of the South Bay, in the sense that you're 10 minutes away from the border, 10 minutes away from downtown. So we're in a very strategic place to be able to offer a lot of opportunities for entertainment, for business, for dining, for shopping, etc. So what I would tell business owners is to use all the resources they can to tell people that they're here. One of the things that the Chamber is doing is we created a new website called Discover National City. And through that website, the purpose of that website is to make sure that people outside of National City know what is available here. For example, I don't know how many people know that in National City there are over 220 restaurants, right? So one of our goals through that website is to make sure that everybody knows that all these choices of restaurants are available. Not to mention the Mile of Cars, right, which is an amazing collection of dealerships and stores that support cars and that repair cars and offer all kinds of services. So the automotive industry in National City is very, very strong. And also places like Plaza Bonita, right, which is part of National City, and it's one of the most active malls in the county. It's not only surviving, it's growing, it's thriving with new venues coming in, new restaurants, really, really growing. So I think it's simply a matter of all our businesses connecting with organizations like ours to be able to take advantage of what's happening in National City and how close we are to these other communities that can come and benefit from our offerings, both in restaurants, cars, everything.
Oh, I agree with you. Plaza Bonita has a tremendous food court, and I see it all the time when I go to my to watch my AMC movies in Dolby there as well. So yeah, it's definitely growing. You got Target in that. You got Target in there. I saw that they're having like this huge like bowling alley that's going to be put into the
Yeah.
mall. Some tremendous
Yes.
opportunities. Now, when it comes to most cities, small business is really the base and the foundation for a city's growth. It's great to have these large companies coming in. That shows that the city is definitely growing. But what advice would you give to entrepreneurs that are kind of starting and establishing themselves, and maybe they're going to start here in National City? What does it take to start a business and do it legitimately within the city?
Well, I mean, obviously, every city have their procedures and licensing requirements, etc. And I think National City is an easy place where you can start actually record and license your business. It's very easy to do. I think the biggest challenge for any new business is, how do you tell people that you're here? How do you tell people that not only you're here, they know your address, but how do I get them to come into my shop and try my food or try my services, try my products, right? And we have noticed, as we have approached a lot of the businesses locally, is that many businesses don't even have a website, right? And that's a big mistake. You need to be able to be reachable. People need to be able to watch a couple of pictures and products, and even maybe order online through a website. And because we noticed that, for example, we are just putting together a program where we'll be giving out 100 free websites to local small businesses here in National City in the next few months. So again, we're doing this because we realize that if you're going to start a business, you need to be visible. You need to have a presence on social media, a presence with a website, and again, start connecting with everybody so people can really know where you are and what you're doing.
I want to kind of know a little bit more about that, because for me, marketing is one of the main things that we do here with the program itself. We help people build their sales funnels, build their communications, their databases, so that they're not just building a one-time transaction, but building an actual business that allows them to market and create content at scale. And I know marketing is constantly evolving. So can you tell me a little bit more about that program that you're kind of putting in place? And is there any other innovative marketing approaches or trends that businesses should explore to stay competitive in National City?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, and I'll base this answer on my experience with my own business, right? So first, the program that we have for launching 100 new websites, free websites for small businesses, is something that we've been working on for a few months now, and we're ready to launch it probably in September. We're going to start. Uh, Giving out these free websites to 100 businesses here in National City. And the reason why, as I mentioned before, the reason why it's so important is that if people Google you and they don't find you, you're off. You're done, right? So you need to be found. And I know that sometimes you have presence on Yelp and Facebook and whatever, and that's good. That's really good. But I think having a website is essential for that to happen, right? In my personal experience, I started to grow my business by doing only networking. And although networking is so essential, as I mentioned before, but you still need to have that presence online and on social media. So I started to do that on my own business. I started to have a presence on Facebook and on Instagram and on Google My Business, for example. If you're not if you don't register your business on a platform like Google Your Business, when people search for you, they're not going to find you, or you will be listed on the on place number 700. They're not going to see you there. So you have to learn how to do that. And this is where approaching the Small Business Development Center, you get the free advice from professionals who will help you do that for free. It's so amazing. I mean, it's a no-cost way to get your name out there. So that, for me, that is crucial for any business that's starting here.
I think you put it best. When I was growing up, we had this big yellow book called the Yellow Pages. And if you didn't show up in the Yellow Pages, your business did not exist. Today, we
Yeah.
have Google, and you're exactly right. That is the Yellow Pages of today. If you
Yeah.
don't show up on a Google search result, you don't exist. You might physically be there. People might know who you are, but the incoming traffic that's looking for you is not going to find you at all. You need to have that presence. And I'm glad to hear that you guys are helping small businesses do that, because yes, they need their digital footprint and they need to be found. And they need to learn that it's not super complicated to do these things, right? That these are opportunities that they can take advantage of. So as we get low on time here, if people want to find out more, maybe, about the networking events that you have coming up, maybe about becoming a member of the Chamber of Commerce, maybe finding out about the 100 free websites that you're giving away, how can they do that?
It's all available through our website. We have a very active website with user-friendly website with all the information on our events, how to join the chamber, all the benefits, everything that you're going to get from becoming a member of the chamber. So as you mentioned in the scrolling at the bottom, you just log on to our website and all the resources are there. And if you have any questions, you can email us right from there. You can call us right from there. So we're available to be able to assist any business that needs any support. And I would like to just mention something very curious that I learned when I started working here at the chamber, and I started reaching out to small businesses. This was about 5 years ago. And I started to notice that a lot of the businesses here didn't know that there was a Chamber of Commerce. They didn't know where we were. And I used to ask myself, hey, how is it possible that you have a business and you don't know that there's a Chamber of Commerce? I mean, you've been here for 5, 10 years. And after some time of munching on that concept, I realized one thing: it's not their fault. It's our fault. We need to be reaching out to them, not them to us. And I think that is one of the things that businesses tend to think that, why aren't people finding me? I'm right here. No, you need to be reaching out to the customers. It's not their obligation. It's your obligation to make yourself seen. And this is where, as a chamber, we're here to support.
You're exactly right. That's the thing about it when you're starting off a business. You're at the grunt level. You need to get your message out there. Eventually, you'll have so many satisfied customers that the referrals start coming in over time. But if you don't go out there and make it happen at first, it's never going to get there.
Or it's going to take a long, long time to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to take a very long time to get there. All right, David. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the website scrolling across the bottom is the nationalcitychamber.org, nationalcitychamber.org. Make sure you guys check it out, especially if you're in business and you don't have a website set up. They're literally giving away 100 websites coming next month now. It's already August 1st. So coming next month, this is going to be an opportunity for you guys to take advantage of. And between now and then, there's also going to be networking events. There's also going to be other opportunities that you can take advantage of. And if you have questions questions about your business, what licensing, what permits and stuff like that, what better place than to get that information from the Chamber of Commerce themselves. So make sure you guys check it out, nationalcitychamberofcommerce.org. And David, thank you very much for coming on the program. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks.
It's over. Go home. Is your business in need of marketing? Try starting a podcast. But not just any podcast. Podcast like a pro. We can show you how to take your business from being invisible to becoming a brand people trust. Go to www.businessbros.biz to get started today.